Hello there guys, it's Joey. So this is going to be a little crystal haul and chat. There are a couple of things that aren't crystals, but generally speaking it's a little crystal haul. And I'm going to do the bits and pieces and show those first, and then I'm going to talk a little bit at the end. So a little talky bit, if you can't be bothered to listen to me, then you can see the shinies and go, I won't hold it against you. But yeah, I tell you what, let's just save all of that to the end. I'm not going to be on camera for this video. I think it's better to just show the goodies and let them have their day in the sun or whatever you like, and just, show them for what it is. So I went to my local holistic shop, and it is a holistic shop. They sell holistic therapies is their main cause of business, but they do stock some wonderful bits and pieces, and crystals is what I go in there for generally. Sometimes they'll have an incense I'll get, and a essential oil maybe, and things like that, but generally speaking it's crystals I get from them. And I think it's really important to patronise places that do sell these sorts of things, because they're becoming rarer and rarer. It's becoming more and more difficult to find a place which stocks new age items, witch items, pagan items, or even crystals and things. And you wouldn't think it would be that difficult, but it is becoming a rarer thing. When I was beginning my practice, it was fairly easy to find witchcraft shops, and in my hometown there were, within bus distance, 3 or 4 I think, and now there is just, I think, 1 left that I know of, which is where I went when I visited my sister, and is luckily within reasonable driving distance of where she lives. And these places, they just disappear, and it's such a shame. And I think, I just wanted to state for the beginning of the video, it can really help to really patronise these places, and I really truly believe in that. It's why I really truly believe in patronising other shops as well, and I'll go into that a bit in the end. So what I got from the crystal place, the holistic place, first of all, is not crystals. Woohoo! 2 boxes of incense. So I got the Midnight Nag Champa and the Fortune Nag Champa. Unfortunately, they've stopped stocking the Ganesha's Luck, so I'm going to have to get that online now. But I got some of the Fortune instead. I prefer the Ganesha's Luck for money spells, but I'll give the Fortune a go. It can't hurt, can it? And the Midnight is my favourite Nag Champa. It always has been, and I use this as a stick incense for the Morrigan. So when I want to do a quick sticky stick incense offering, and that's what I use, and she really enjoys that scent. In my experience, I find it sort of sensual, and it's difficult to really put it into words. It's an expression of life, of life force energy. That's what it feels like. The sensual priestess that dance the temple. It's a wonderful stick incense. So I got a couple of stick incenses. I do get through them. I don't like some of theirs, but those 2 are absolutely fine. Okie dokie. So then I got myself some crystals. Just gonna turn... right. So this is a Treamer light. And I'm gonna attempt, if I can zoom in the right way, to move it around and try and get the glow on camera. I don't... Can you see that there? That's a blue shimmer. Where's the really intense one? One second. I see. Right, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. So this is a Treamer light, and it has a blue glow around that side, and it's really quite lovely. Oh, I did get some more crystals and bits that I can't show because they're not actually for me. So they've gone in my Soul Sisters box. Ugh, she'll be excited at least. So Treamer is to access higher knowledge, calm and clarity, higher mind activation, mystic rapture, wind, chakras of the crown, 7th, soul star 8th, transpersonal and etheric 9th through 14th above the head. So reading from the Book of Stones. Robert Simmons, Treamer is a powerful crystal that can be used to activate the pineal gland and link it with surrounding neural circuitry, leading to the opening of third eye and crown chakras and conscious access to morphic fields of knowledge. The experiences of direct access to knowledge without any learning process has been reported by many mystics throughout the ages. Oh gosh, this is... Let's actually read the Niger Asian one. Treamer is the wind element ally that helps one regulate energy, consciousness and attitude. It stimulates prana and helps one to be more aware of the movement of energy and life force through the body and aura. Treamer encourages one to breathe deeply and be present in the moment. It can assist in being more focused during meditation and being consciously present in the now throughout one's day. Helps stop the monkey mind. I could do with that, I can tell you. It helps one to respond to reality instead of going off on head trips generated by the ego. Its frequency is emotionally neutral, helping one gain insight without attachment. Spiritual, Treamer helps one maintain focus, expand consciousness and remain present during meditation. It is expansive but doesn't cause spaciness. And the affirmation is, I offer myself to the divine with a surrendered mind and open heart. It has a similar but not the same energy to the other illuminatory crystals that I really enjoy. Labradorite being my spirit stone, the stone which I connect to deity most regularly through, and the flash of insight Numite as well. It's like those but not as intense, a little bit more grounded. Sorry, completely distracted by a crow that just flew in a circle in front of the window up in the sky. That was a little bit distracting. And it does have a wind energy, it does have sort of a blusty energy. Are you actually shining for the camera? I take my eyes off you for 1 minute and you're like, oh, I'm shining now, you're not moving me. But it has this beautiful colour which is almost like rain, a grey rain, and then you'll get a sudden flash of blue going through. It's lovely. So there's that. And, right. Then I got some Dragonstone. So, this is interesting. These were new and I was like, ooh, they're tumbles and they're interesting and they're new and I'll give them a go. I like to pick up tumbles, which I've not tried before. Tumbles are relatively inexpensive. And so I don't buy clusters, generally speaking, that I haven't tried before. I don't have an idea of what they do and how they feel. But tumbles, it's easier to. Right, so Tumble Dragonstone is a green and red jasper from South Africa, often confused with dragon's blood jasper or septarian, which is commonly known as dragon's egg. So I actually saw information which actually said that dragon's stone was septarian, and I was like, oh, I thought septarian was much more yellow than that. So according to this, they do get confused, but they're not the same thing. And you know, they're much redder and green, which is lovely. A strengthener of the physical and etheric bodies, especially when illness or negative conditions brings one's vitality down, which would be good for this week. It's a wellspring of prana. What is going on with prana in these crystals? And so can consistently help one to find one's inner reset button, so that the energy and body fields regain their resonance with a pattern of health, stability and emotional well-being. So basically like getting back to yourself and feeling grounded. So there isn't definite sort of symmetry between them. Prana is the Sanskrit word for life force. In Hindu philosophy, including yoga, the term refers collectively to all cosmic energies permeating the universe on all levels. So there you go, that's what prana is from a definition. Okie dokie, and so the last two, I told you it's only a little crystal haul, but these last two are amazing. The last two are both Labradorites, they're both gorgeous. Which one should we do first? I hope the light's gonna do them justice. Right. Oh yeah. Oh, hello. 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 This this deep shadowy blue. I'm a big fan of blue and turquoise. They're my favourite colours. And these two Labradorites in particular have a real depth of colour, and I just love, there's almost a purple here, and it's just so beautiful. This one's very dragonfly-esque in its energy. There. Oh, that deep dark blue, I love that with just a flash of the turquoise, it's gorgeous. And then so this one, there you go, has a purple here, which is why I got it. Because getting a really nice piece of, oh there you go, you can see the purple shining through the back there. Getting really nice pieces with purple in them is difficult, so I was like, alright, I need it. It's and the good thing about this one is almost like a chameleon. So one way it looks very blue and yellow there, and then you move it around and you start to notice the purple and the little bit of gold on that edge there. It's beautiful. And they're lovely palm pieces. Lovely, absolutely gorgeous. So if you, ooh, look at that eyeballs looking at you, right? So if you don't know about Labradorite, where have you been? It is my spirit stone. I love it. It's known as the Temple of the Stars. It's basically this stone of the mystics. It's very magical, it's very protective, you can't use it for anything negative. It has this strong auric bond. It awakens magic within you, so being around it can really help you to gauge a sense of who you are on a spiritual and metaphysical and magical level. It helps with divination and psychic readings and Akashic record accessing and previous life memories and things of that nature. Helps to enhance your psychic abilities as well. The inner awareness element, it has this flash of illumination, so it literally has a flash and then it has a flash of illumination and illustrates things that you need to know and accesses past life memories and brings up things that you need to know and be aware of, and the connection between synchronicities and feeling your way through. Have I missed anything? Just checking the book. I call forth the magic of higher awareness. That is its affirmation within the Book of Stones, but I think I've covered everything because I talk about it so often I should know it. I do like this. Labradorite energy aids one in penetrating the veils of the void where all knowledge and possibility are held. The void is a place of all potential and is the source of all creation. Labradorite aids the lightworker in accessing this place of potential and bringing into the realm of creation for the highest good. So it's very much a facilitator of dreams and magic and all those good things. I love Labradorites. It's something else. Something else. So I'm going to talk a bit now, I'm going to chat a bit now at the end of this video. So if you just wanted to see the shinies, that's it for the shinies, and some of their meanings. So there you go. So, I was going to talk a little bit about the patronage of pagan, witchy, new agey stores, and a little bit of my feelings on this particular subject. I've been asked a few questions recently with pertaining to this and my store and that sort of thing. I haven't really felt like making videos this week. I think the atmosphere on YouTube has been pretty horrendous and I've just not wanted anything to do with it this week, so I really had to push myself today. I was making a video for the totem set anyway, and I thought, you know what, I still want to share the crystals. I think that it's worth sharing and talking about the crystals that I do purchase and why I purchase them, and patronising these stores. Well, that sounds wrong. Patronising these stores. Going in and being patronising. No. Giving them my patronage. It's what I meant, but my brain's not with us. It never is. It's too late in the day. After midday it's all downhill. Yeah, right. And I do videos of other stores in particular when they have exceeded my expectations and when I've had a really good time with them. I do this for witch stores that I have used and really enjoyed, and with regarding to herbs, I buy quite a lot of herbs. That's a lot of the time for the store, although I do use them in my personal practice as well. So there is that. The crystals tend to be a personal practice. I would probably call myself a crystal collector at this point, because they're shinies. And I use them, I utilise them, I love them. So there's that. So in regards to talking a bit about the purchasing of items and the creation of items, as long as I've been practicing pagan, and it went on long before I was selling items on my store, which will be 3 years soon, if not more. There is a vein of argument that comes up, and there's a level of unpleasantness attached to it sometimes. And this is the attacking of people for the purchasing of items. And people try and sort of placate by saying they meant non-witchcraft handmade items, although that could easily be applied to crystals and or herbs in this circumstance. And I've had people say that, you know, that real witches don't need to buy anything, and then I really don't like it. I really just don't like it. I think as a practitioner, as a store owner who takes time, heart, soul, energy and puts everything into her store, I'm talking about myself in the third person, but whatever, it comes across as so unnecessary for that argument to come into practice. It's like, okay, well, if you're the sort of person that, you know, that doesn't want to be purchasing anything, then don't, and it doesn't make you any less right or wrong than anybody else. It's just your personal preference, and trying to basically take your personal preference and blanket it on top of other people's practice is echoing religious paths that are dogmatic. This is the way you will do something. And witchcraft is a practice alongside a spiritual path. Excuse me. For the most part. And everybody is invariably different in the way that they practice their path, and it becomes a very sore subject because people seem to feel that they need to tell people the right way to do something, and the things and arguments on which this is based are a little bit mind-numbing from my perspective, because witchcraft isn't stagnant and shouldn't be, and that's its appeal. It's not a stagnant, set in stone kind of thing. There are tried and true practices, there are generally accepted notions and ways of going about things and explanations and, I don't know, spiritual currency, if you like, and that are generally accepted. But there aren't any definitive answers because A, it's spirituality, and B, it's pagan / witchcraft, which is highly individualised. Another question that came up with regards to my store and so on and so forth is about me patronising, not patronising, Joe, patronising, purchasing from other witchy stores. And some people mean it in the absolute best sense, and some people do not. When they ask, oh, would you recreate something that you have purchased from someone else or something that you've seen in that store so I can buy it from you? And my answer is always no. If you have seen something that I have purchased from another witch, it doesn't happen often at all in terms of magical items. There are very, very few stores which I will buy magical items from, like my amulet and all the recent little bits and pieces which were from Witch and Wood on Etsy. And I do it from time to time, and I enjoy to do it because A, it shows you how someone else would do something, which is good to know. B, it has a different energy from your own, so it gives everything a little bit more of a twist, of a different feel, a different flavour. It's just like getting your paprika and your Cajun spice and mixing them together and having a little bit of a bonfire in your mouth. Tasty and delicious. And it's just varying up a little bit. And it may give you access to things which you don't personally have access to. So nearly everything I bought from Witch and Wood was blackthorn based, and I don't have access to blackthorn. I just don't have access to it. And that's going to be the case for other things as well. You know, the like the witch burrs that are quite frequently used more in hoodoo. I don't have access to those. So if I want to utilise them, and I have once or twice to give it a go, then I would purchase them. And there are certain roots and things that I'm not going to have access to. So if I feel a need, I will, you know, go and grab some. But as for recreating the things such as the amulets and things that I bought from Witch and Wood, now I have my own amulets, which are the Morrigan Eyes, which I feel okay about because they're mine, and I based them on a long-standing tradition, but they are my own. They're my own wood, they're my own thought process, they're my energy, they're imbued for the Morrigan and obsidian. It's not me taking, say, the beautiful Goblin Cross from Witch and Wood and recreating it and selling it for a cheaper price, because that to me is so dishonest, so lacking in integrity. It's theft. It's just theft, and I would never do it. I would rather, like I said before, that if you want one of those Goblin Crosses, that you go to Witch and Wood and purchase from them, because they have a beautiful energy. They're one of the few witchy stores which I've bought from, and I can really feel the energy. Like you can feel it. You can feel the work that's gone into it, and unfortunately that doesn't happen as often as I would like. But from them I've been impressed with everything I've bought. which I said so in their review. I think they're amazing, and I would much rather that you go and purchase and put your patronage and support them than me make a rip-off knockoff for slightly less money. And it's just so dishonest. It goes against my path along the lines of the Morrigan, and I just don't like it. I don't like it when it's done to me, and I absolutely refuse to do it to anybody else. And that's sort of tying into a code of conduct that I absolutely rigidly stick to when it comes to the selling of magical items. It's how I conduct myself, and is part of my very soul, and Morrigan would hold me to it even if I didn't, which I do. So that's just covering that, because that has come up once or twice with regards to, you know, spiritual items, purchasing of items. And I will absolutely support pagan businesses that I feel are worth it, and make review videos for those that I absolutely feel are worth it. So I really wanted to just round this little sort of talky bit at the end off by sort of comparing it to pagan artwork, because pagan artwork doesn't seem to come under as much fire as, say, the physical items. And a spiritual experience with pagan art can be just as profound as a spiritual experience with, say, your candles or your incenses like I make. And just as much of your witch practice. It's just a different way of going about it. But because art has become more of an accepted, purchasable item outside of the pagan community full stop, but also within sort of buying a goddess picture, or a god picture, or a witch picture, and so on and so forth. It's just more accepted. It doesn't tend to get like railed on the same way. And if you think about it, you can look at an artwork and you can get into the picture, and the symbols take on meaning, and the drawings of the lines begin to move and make you think and make your mind work, and help you to connect to your god and goddess by giving you a visual representation at their altar perhaps. And to date, whenever I've shown pictures, like artwork, that's never come under fire in the same way. And I guess it's because it's more difficult for people to go, oh well, you can make your own, because being able to draw and paint is a very specific skill, and I can paint. I can't draw, apart from skulls, which is a really weird thing to be able to draw. I'm blaming Mama Morrigan for that. It's about the only thing I can actually draw is skulls of different creatures. I don't know why, it's just weird, but there you go. But when you sit and think about it, it's the same idea. I consider everything I put into the store to be an art form, because I put my heart and soul into it. Everything has an energy which binds into every other energy. I create energy matrices for each energy theme. The colours are picked on purpose, the energies of each herb are picked on purpose, the energies of each crystal are picked on purpose. They are all interwoven into one song, all the many different voices, but they're singing together. And each item has a soul, and you can say that with artwork. This picture has a soul, it speaks to me of this, this and this. And I think that pagan items should speak to you the exact same way, and it's a shame to see criticism of purchasing bits and pieces. I was musing over materialism a couple of weeks ago. I must have felt this all coming or something. And I was saying there are two ways of looking at it, because it's very New Age philosophy to be like, you don't need anything, get rid of everything. It's, you know, and that's more of a New Age philosophy thing than it is a witchcraft thing. And that's the encroachment of New Age philosophy into witchcraft as a spiritual path. In terms of traditional witchcraft, in all my readings, I've never come across the idea that, you know, traditional paths are like, get rid of everything you own. That to me tends to come from a sort of New Age perspective. And it's fine, whatever you want to do, but the other flip side of this is actually the depersonalization of human beings is used and done in such a way that cults do it by encouraging people to give up every single thing they own. And it becomes like a depersonalization of that person. It becomes a brainwashing of that person. Like, you no longer have anything to physical within your life that you have any attachment to, so you kind of lose elements of yourself. Now, that's not to say that a person is based on what they own. That's not true. A person is based on who they are in personality, in their soul, in their heart, in their emotions, in their mental state, and all of these things become part of the parcel. It's just worth remembering that it's not necessarily a good thing to get rid of everything, and it's not necessarily a bad thing either, but it's worth considering that balance is far more healthy than the extremes in that case, in my opinion. So I just thought I would natter on a little bit at the end, just some little bits. I will attempt to do this week's witchy videos tomorrow. The I Can't Witch Without and the spell work for this week. The spell work may be via the Facebook page instead. There will be a Starry Crystal Perspectives. So Starry Crystal Perspectives, I can't say it. I can spell it, I just can't say it. Is something I'm doing via the Facebook page where once a week or once every other week, I haven't decided yet, I'm going to share a picture of crystals, a particular crystal each week, and share on it some of my personal descriptions or descriptors or key themes for each particular crystal. So how I feel about the energy, how I view it. Last week was obsidian. I'm going to do Labradorite this week for obvious reasons, and that will be available today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow now. So that's something you can go on to the Starry Eyed Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Starry-Eyed Supplies, and you can collect those and put those in your online book of shadows if you so desire. Or you can go on there and completely disagree with me about my descriptors for crystals if you like. Just be nice. Just be pleasant. So that's going to be it for this video. So I just thought I'd natter on a little bit at the end, just about a couple of little things that I just need to state for the record. Many blessings.